Welcome to Craig Back Show.
I had no.
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, I just I got a new computer and I didn't realize I didn't have Zoom installed.
Oh, well, that was a quick one though, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, before I get into it, okay. So, what's up? Welcome to Katie Black Show. I have another returning guest with me today. I have
Stocktipdave.
what up? What's poppin'?
Not much. Just been working on Ramble On, Victory the podcast, and No Gruffs Given with Sean Avery at Action Park recently. And I'm currently trying to create a podcast that's kind of the opposite of what everybody's doing. And so I'm trying to make these podcasts that are like 10 to 15 minutes long that focus on one story at a time. And then I just end it. And I'm just trying to do short form content because I don't think I can personally do a solo podcast for like 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm just making it segmented with stories that are funny.
That's crazy. Well, you got a lot going on, huh?
Oh yeah, it's always busy.
So I looked up last time you were on the show was 5/21/21, so over like almost a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I know you just like gave a shout out to what you're doing now, but besides that, like what's transpired for you in the last year?
So we made the pilot for Ramble On. That was awesome. We did about 2 weeks of filming, and then we did some reshooting in April. We're doing another episode. I don't know if you saw the dossier or Bust. We're trying to work on season 2 right now. I think season 2 is actually about to come out for the dossier.
Very cool.
And Bust, we're hoping to get. We're waiting on finalizations of an athlete to get that ball rolling on that. But we just should release some new episodes with Ryan Leaf, so he is actually doing really well from it. He told his story, people loved it, and now he's on like major networks talking to everybody.
Very cool. Well, what's your kind of, since you're like in the world and obviously observant and up with the culture, like what do you think's like gonna, like what's happening with podcasting now, or where do you think it's going, or do you think it's just gonna be never ending? Or
Well, when we started, I guess there was like when this company started, there was 800,000 podcasts. And now there's several million. And so it's a very saturated market. And it's just all about like what separates you apart, because everybody's doing a podcast and you just kind of have to find the niche that people like want to hear and what sets you up. I'm hoping I can get more than 5 listeners on mine. I don't know what to expect. I'm just kind of seeing what I can do with it. So that's why, because, everybody is doing like, I guess you can call it talking heads. And so I just had to brainstorm I wanted to do the opposite of what everybody was doing, just because I see it all the time. I listen all the time, and you see these podcasts that are 45 to 60 minutes. There's a lot of interesting stuff, but then there's like the moments within the podcast that are just kind of like,
get lost.
Yeah, you kind of tune out. And so I don't want to be a podcast where you just tune out. So I want it short and simple. Very
cool. Yeah, I'm just even like analyzing what I'm doing over here, but it's a vibe. I was telling someone the other day, someone's like, oh, how did you get into podcasting? And I'm like, I know, but like, I don't really know. And then it's kind of crazy that I've been doing it this long. But yeah, I mean, obviously no one knows about me still. Yeah, there's so many.
Nobody really knows who I am for me to have a successful podcast. I'm just having fun with it with no expectations, because it's really the only way to make money is for advertising, and you have to like promote your podcast. Like people don't boost enough posts on Instagram, because you could pay $20 on Instagram and get your podcast exposed to 20,000 people within a 5-mile radius.
Yeah, I'll marinate that. I guess I always I don't know. I get anxiety when I plug in my credit card,
Yeah, and then YouTube, we've been doing a lot of YouTube. So I've been creating the whole Action Park YouTube with all of our social media, the full episodes, just to monetize YouTube, because it's stupid not to do that. Because right now, any video that's longer than 8 minutes you can make money off of advertising. And now starting in February, YouTube is moving to where you can make a minute 30-second social clip and make money off of it. So you can make money off your short clips as well.
Well, I'll try to absorb that energy. Well, as we record, obviously you guys know I record in advance. Thanksgiving's approaching. Is that like a holiday you're excited about? You don't care? Or?
No, I'm excited because I'm taking my dog home to see my dad for the first time. So I rescued him in February, and I'm gonna give him Xanax to see how he does on the plane. That's what the vet told me to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna put a half of Xanax in a meatball and take him to the airport.
What kind of dog, and what's his name or her name? Or
so it's funny. So his name is Theo, and I thought that was cool because I grew up next door to a person named Theo, and everybody's like, "Did you name it after him?" I'm like, "No, it happened to be the name." Uh-huh. He's like, I was told he was a half Australian Shepherd and a Cocker Spaniel, but he isn't. The DNA test, he's like 33% poodle, which stunned everybody. It's like 33% poodle, Cocker Spaniel, Dachshund, Bichon Frise, and then like 12% super mutt.
Holy shit! So does he have, because obviously I have a lot of friends that have rescued animals, like any anxiety he struggles with or anything he's timid of, or? Yeah,
so he's very aggressive on a leash with other dogs. So because I guess the story was whoever had him before just like left him in the backyard and he just was constantly digging and escaping. So he's a great indoor dog.
Oh.
So like I guess he's a great indoor dog. It's just outside on a leash is where he's got his issues.
Very interesting. Do you feel like he's helped with like your anxiety? Like, how they say like animals, like, what I mean?
I think so. Cause now it's like when I come home, I leave for 20 minutes. He's excited to see me.
Right. That's so sweet.
And so I've taken him pretty much everywhere. So he goes to work with me. He's like the company dog. And so he sits under the desk while I'm editing, or he's in the studio while I'm recording the podcast. So he's like kind of the company mascot.
How does he deal with like when people approach him?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Absolutely fine with people. It's just other dogs. He has no idea. If he knows the dog, he's fine. It's just his initial approach. He loves dogs, but he's got an overly aggressive approach.
So another thing that like I've always kind of had, but I definitely have developed in the last year, and I still really don't know what to do with. But I wouldn't say, I don't know, clairvoyant, intuitive, whatever. So sometimes when I'm talking to people or beforehand, I'll get vibes, and sometimes they check out, and sometimes they don't. So right before I was logging on, I was getting a vibe like, are you terrified of the dentist or something? Or like, absolutely not.
No, I go to the dentist all the time. I mean, I'm used to it.
So are you obsessed with going to the dentist? Is it the opposite? No,
I'm not obsessed, but I guess I just have the type of mouth that just has buildup all the time. And so they have me come three times a year.
Oh my God, dude, 3 times a year.
Yeah. And I went like 4 times in August and September and October. Just they had to do like some random procedure that they had to keep calling me back for. I don't understand why they couldn't do it in one trip. So they made me come 4 times. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of more annoying than anything.
Interesting. Well, okay. Now I didn't like hit the ball out of the park, but like there's something with you and dentist, right?
No.
No, I'm just saying like I don't go to the dentist 3 times a year. You know what I mean? Usually it's twice, right?
Yeah. I mean, my parents always like stressed it. So I've just always, that's one thing I've always been on top of. I've been to the dentist more than I get yearly physicals.
Well, it's good because usually, like, if you have a clean mouth, then like chances are, you're like healthy, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think the UK like isn't about that life?
The UK? I don't know. It might be a stereotype. I don't know if it's actually true.
I mean, I don't know. Just any thoughts on like?
Well, I mean, I lived in the UK for a summer for school. They pay attention to their teeth, but I know they have the old rumor, like, of the bad teeth and like, what are they called? Cankles. But
interesting. Interesting. Any thoughts on, like, speaking of the UK, you're out in Los Angeles, like, obviously I always like tune into what's going on. Like, do you have any thoughts on like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle?
None. I know they came to Spotify here in LA like a month ago or 2 months ago.
Is that a restaurant? I know they live in
Canada. No, Spotify, the podcast place.
Okay. I'm not that out of touch. Okay. Well, I don't know if there was like, I think of like Spotify restaurant. They give like Spago. Is that still out there?
I've heard of it, but I can't tell you if they're open. I don't know.
Okay. I think it's like Wolfgang Puck associated, but who knows?
Yeah, I've definitely heard of it, but I've never been. I was looking because like I know people are going around LA like doing burger reviews, trying to find the best burger. And I went to one place today and it was disappointing.
Oh,
But
that
if you're in
sucks.
LA, go to a burger place called Burger She Wrote. It's awesome.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I'll
It's actually
sometimes watch that
walking
on
distance.
Amazon. What?
Murder She Wrote.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the name of the Burger She Wrote, and it's like walking distance from my house. I haven't had anything better.
So is food better there or East Coast?
Um, I don't know. Here it's more um variety. Like there's Indian, there's Thai, there's Lebanese, there's Ethiopian, there's um everything. But the one thing I've struggled to find the entire time I've been in California is good Chinese food. I cannot find it. If it exists, I don't know about it.
That's shocking. So it's
I
just
have
all
not.
like mediocre?
Yeah, I legit have not had good Chinese food probably since I lived in New York in 2014
That is shocking.
because there's no good Chinese in Arizona. Can't find it.
Hmm.
Nothing in. I'm sure there's good places in LA, and I'm just so clueless as to how to find them.
Well, obviously I follow you on social media and I saw like obviously sometime earlier this year like they threw a big birthday party for you, right?
Yeah, that was in August.
So, what was that like? How many people were there? What was the vibe?
I mean, it was awesome because, well, my coworker made the ridiculous flyer calling it Deva Palooza, and I just thought it funny. I posted it on Instagram, and then I took it down because I was like, because I didn't care who showed up really, but then I had people like hitting me up, like, how come you didn't invite me? And I'm like, what do you mean? It was on my social media. Whoever wanted to come came.
Right.
But no, because I didn't know what to expect, because I legit thought, even Connolly, we all thought maybe 15, 20 people would show up. And it ended up being like all of our friends showing up, and we were there till 2 a.m. I want to say there was at least 40 to 50. I could be underselling, but it kind of turned into like a small dinner thing, into like all of our friends basically just being up. It was like a big reunion. It was awesome.
Oh, nice. And how old were you
I was
turning?
hammered.
How old are you turning?
Well, you won't believe me. I turned 41.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe like 38 or something.
No, so I kind of got overly drunk because I was getting force fed like shots and things. And right before the day before, which of course this happened, was getting my dog excited. I was laying on the couch. I got my dog excited to go to the park, and he whacks me in the eyeball. And I just knew right away something was happening. I had a party that night, a party the next night. So a doctor at the party the night before had to give me prescription eye drops. I literally was walking around the party with like one eye like this the whole time. And like you can see pictures. Like I got so drunk I forgot to take the medicine.
Oh
And
no.
so I was walking around with one eye, and everybody thought I had pink eye.
Did it hurt like hell?
Yeah, it lasts for like 5 days, and of course, I get a fucked up eye. Sorry, a messed up eye. Like
You can say fuck. Come on. Come on.
the day before the first time I've actually thrown a party for myself.
That's very interesting. So, speaking of like partying and stuff, since you're like in California, like do people like is it more alcohol induced, or like since marijuana is more open there, what life is it like?
It's both. It's funny you said that, because last night for my coworker's birthday, I was sitting there like, because I had a little bit of anxiety, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take an edible. So I took
What made you think that would help with anxiety?
because it settles me. And
Okay.
so I took 4 edibles. I don't know how strong they were, but I got to the bar. I had one drink. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, I feel drunk, but I've only had one drink. So I was telling my friend, I was like, I cannot tell you if I'm stoned or if I'm drunk, because I've only had 1.5 drinks.
That is too funny. So do you like the edible life, or do you prefer a pen, or?
I mean, I do it all. It's just like I hate sativa, because sativa gives you anxiety, so I stay away from sativa. Indica just helps me focus. Like I use indica because it just chills you out, mellows you out, and like for me, it's like taking an Adderall. I can sit down and edit. I can. It just makes me like. It's literally like taking a Ritalin for me, or an Adderall.
Interesting. See, since it's like not cool where I'm at, it's like you have no idea what you're getting. It's like the 80s, 90s. So
Yeah, I that's the one thing I hate about Florida. Is like I hate smoking weed when I don't know what it is because I hate sativa because of it actually gives you anxiety. So I'm
mhm.
like I stay away from it. But here it's like people are smoking pens, they're drinking, they're smoking. You see all kinds of things.
Very interesting. Yeah, I'm jealous because see, I don't drink. I'm only cannabis. So
Yeah, I didn't drink until I got a job with the Atlanta Hawks. I didn't drink through college, nothing.
you're kidding. So what age was that you started drinking?
It's like 23, 24.
And so why'd you hold off until then? You just no desire.
I liked smoking weed and I did at the time I couldn't to me it made no sense to go waste $50 at the bar for like two or three drinks that you would never get any benefit from that money ever.
Right.
And then when I moved across the country, it just became a social thing to meet people, and then it just kind of just became of kind of kind of just became part of life. And I don't like in my apartment now, I don't own any alcohol. I've always made it a point to never. I don't drink solo, so I don't. I know you're supposed to always be prepared with alcohol in your apartment, but I just never.
It's not your
Even
thing.
I never have it in my apartment.
Are you in your apartment now?
Yeah,
Very cool. Do you like where you live?
yeah. I live on top of a grocery store called Air One, and the Grove is my backyard.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So are you always like, are you the type of guy that like goes and buys a bunch of groceries at the beginning of the week, or do you just get what you need when you need it?
Well, I've been trying to do better. I've been going to Trader Joe's, so I don't have to go eat out as much. So I've been cooking more. So I've
Okay.
been up until like last month, I was eating out every time, every meal.
Trader Joe's is fun though, no?
No, I get a ton of food all the time for like $300.
Wait, you're from Florida, so do you like DeSantis?
I don't have an opinion, but all my relatives do not like him, and I don't know anything about him,
Mm-hmm.
but
I mean, that's fair.
I heard he's gonna run for president. My cousins are against the guy, because I've yet to hear anything good about him, to be honest.
Same. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm from North Carolina, but I lived in Florida for like 7.5 years, so I feel like I'm part Floridian. I mean, I don't like care for him, but like I get why like they're all obsessed with him, I guess. Because he like says like fuck woke shit, which I'm like, what?
Well, they want anybody but Trump. That's why that guy. That's why I saw an announcement that he got financed by it just is a wealthy individual is financing DeSantis because he wants to be the guy. He's financing it because he wants to be the guy that keeps Trump out of office.
Right. Which like any like, do you think that that'll happen?
I mean, I don't know. I've heard he could win again, which I hope not, but I've heard it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, yeah, I think once it happens once, you're like, well, I mean, I guess it could happen again. I don't know.
Here, can you hear that? Should I close the door? Can you hear that?
Is someone fighting?
No, it's just a lawnmower. But no.
Did you say it's just Lamar?
The lawnmowers. They're more.
Oh, so you're good. You're good. I'm like Lamar's just casually outside. Oh,
Interesting because I've never seen the country like it is now.
we're just so divided.
Yeah, and all the stuff going on, like with Kanye and all that stuff, just it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
like this pre-pandemic.
What do you like? I mean, is it just like hurtful or I don't know, or just do you think everyone's just like lost their mind or what?
I mean, I just think everybody's divided and just like taking it out on everybody. Like, hold on, I'm gonna move out of this area. Hold
Yeah,
on.
you're,
It's just really, I just feel like it's just way different now. Like everybody's kind of on the edge now.
yeah, it sucks actually. I mean, it's actually like really sad to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I used to be like angry about everything, and now I'm just like, now this is really sad. And then I'm like, does anyone out there be like, oh, we're in the Matrix? Have you heard that shit?
Not at all.
Oh my God. Here in the last couple of months, people like, we're in the Matrix. I'm like, I don't think so. But,
I don't even know what that means.
well, just like that, it's like, it's all like a video game, or, I mean, I guess there's 8 ways you could look at it. That it's a video game. Did you take the red pill? Did you take the blue pill? Like, I mean, right? Isn't that what that, I don't know. The Matrix wasn't at all like yeah, which pill did you take? Which side are you on? Distraction.
So there's lots of homeless, lots of crime in LA, so it's like really crazy.
So do you feel like you watch your back more? because
No,
of the
I
crime
mean, I've
stuff?
never. I mean, I not anymore. I guess. Granted, I don't. I just got a new phone, so I just realized I don't have the Citizen app alerts anymore, so I'm not being privy to it. But I live in an area where, like every 10 minutes, I get a notification I'm on Citizen app, like all within a half a mile away, and I'm like the gas station I go to every day. There's like a robbery all the time there.
Have you ever
Oh,
been witness to a robbery?
no, but sorry, I did try to order Taco Bell one night because I got stoned and ordered Taco Bell at 1:45 in the morning, and I don't know why on God's earth I did this. And then by 2:30, I was like, "Hey, where are you?" And the guy was like, "Give me a second. I just got robbed. I'm waiting for the cops." And so this guy got robbed at the Taco Bell down the street, picking up tacos for me because couldn't just go to bed without eating.
How scary.
And he came and I was like, should I cancel it? Get another Uber? He's like, no, it's fine. I'll bring it. And then he shows up. He's like, sorry, I dropped the drink. Give me the tacos.
And you're like, no worries, bro. Okay, so obviously you can't see, but I'm wearing a Beatles shirt. You see
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
So who's your favorite?
Um,
If you had to pick, like, are you into them?
Not hugely, but there's an Orlando connection to Paul McCartney, so I'd say him. My mom loved Paul McCartney, and then his son went to the college down the street from my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. UC or Rollins College, which I'm stunned he even knows about this college because it's a private college.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how many people go there, but I'd have to say like 8,000 people because it's like
Super small.
private school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was stunned. I could understand like UCF or Florida State or Florida, but this college, I was just stunned.
I mean, I'm sure we kind of like briefly touched on it last time you were on the show, but like any like little nuggets of what it was like growing up in Orlando in the 90s.
It's pretty boring. It was either you go to Universal Studios, you go to Orlando Magic Games, you go to your friend's house and go like on the lake. It's not what it is now. Because now it'd be awesome to grow up there, but like they were still developing. It's very underdeveloped and not a lot going on. So if you move, you didn't know anybody, you probably have a hard time and want to leave. But now it's a whole different story. There's breweries. There's like I guess top 10 in the country for craft breweries. But no, like, I mean, we were always at Nickelodeon because Nickelodeon was coming to our schools and audition people. And so my brother was all over that network because I wasn't old enough. I wasn't even at the school when they were coming, but they'd come and audition kids all the time. Like my brother was, I think I told you, my brother was on Clarissa Explains It All, Get the Picture, Guts. He would have been on more, but he kind of had an attitude. So I think he burned some bridges and wasn't asked back.
But that's like very cool.
So I posted him on the show. Melissa Joan Hart actually liked the post because I tagged her. I didn't expect her to see it.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I feel like all those, I don't know. I mean, you'd like to like, I don't know if I romanticize, but I feel like all those like specifically Nickelodeon, I don't know. I feel like they were all like nice actors or like genuine, I don't know, people. I don't know if that was,
I mean, I was like 8 years. I met Melissa Joan Hart when she was doing Clarissa Explains It All, but I must have been like 7 years old at the time, and so I don't really remember. I remember her walking into the little hangout lounge when I was waiting for my brother, and that's about it. And that's about all the interaction I had with her. She walked into the same room.
very cool. So was that like quote unquote normal that like, I mean, would you say like once a year Nickelodeon came to the school or how did that work?
It all happened when I was still in elementary school, and they would come all the time when my brother was in middle school, and they picked out who they liked, and my brother got picked. I was so mad because they stopped coming when I went to school.
Aww. So obviously your parents were like, this is cool. This is a unique experience.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So why is Nickelodeon no more? Like, what's your 2 cents on that? You know what I mean?
I think they just stopped branding and they just stopped producing shows. I mean, I haven't personally watched Nickelodeon in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't even know. I couldn't name one show they do anymore.
Right. Same. I mean, I still try to go on like, so Amazon Prime will have, I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? So Amazon has Are You Afraid of the Dark, but you can only watch like a certain amount of seasons until they want you to pay for more. And so I'm not going to pay double, you know?
You can get all the Nickelodeons. Yeah. Was it Amazon Prime? or there's something I had to use to get my brother's episode to watch it and record it. I paid for like the $5 streaming service, and they had all the episodes.
Right. So do you feel like as a kid, like, were you quote unquote shy?
Yeah, I mean, I did talk a lot, but I was also shy. It was like a conundrum.
Do you keep in? Sorry, go on.
No, I talk to people that I know a lot, but then I wouldn't talk to you if I didn't know you.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty normal, right?
Sometimes, if I have a drink or two, I'll talk to absolutely everyone.
So, like, you're a little bit older than me. Did you ever like see, like, you know how they used to have missing kids on like milk cartons? Did you ever remember like getting a milk out of the fridge as a kid and seeing that?
No, I think
No.
that I don't know. I think that was
Before you?
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no, we never got those cartons. We just got like the gallons, where it was like a plastic jug.
Okay. Did they use any like what is it? Like stranger danger shit? Did they talk to you guys as kids like that? Or do you remember any kind of like don't take candy from a van? You know what I mean?
No, I mean mine was different because I went to a Jewish elementary school in the South, so we had to like. I remember a KKK rally being in front of my elementary school. We had bomb threats. We're doing fire drills every 2 weeks.
You're kidding. You saw the KKK outside your school?
Yeah, I was like in the third grade, and there was a KKK like picket line in front of my elementary school.
With like white hoods and shit?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's terrifying. Cause see, I guess since I'm like grew up in the South, like I mean, I went to a Jewish preschool too. I mean, I didn't go to an elementary school, but like I never saw any of that shit. So that's why obviously I knew it I guess I knew it went on. I don't know. It's just weird to hear about that it went on in the vicinity of me, kind of.
I mean, it happens so much, and we had to do all these drills. That's why I bought one of those video game watches. So I'd spend the entire fire drill like playing one of those video games on the watch when those were popular.
Oh, like, did you just kind of become numb to it then? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it became a routine. Like every month we had some kind of threats. We were always doing fire drills and stuff.
So what's it like now to like, I don't know. Yeah, just even are you a Kanye fan? Like, do you care? Like, is that upsetting? Or what's his name? Kyrie Irving? What's his name? Isn't that it?
Well, I think Kyrie is an idiot. Kanye, I don't know enough about the situation. Like, I know everybody's pissed about it. I personally don't have an opinion because I need to do more research into the subject. But I know everybody's dropping him, and he's being extremely offensive and saying some stuff he shouldn't. I mean, we had people on the 405 condemning Jews with signs. And I was like, Jesus, because it like reminded me of when I was growing up dealing with all of that stuff. And I couldn't believe that it still happens.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, did you see photos of it, or did you drive under it, or?
No, I just saw photos.
Yeah, that was awful. Well, again, too, I guess maybe just since Trump, I know people like roll their eyes, but like ever since then, like I think I just like lived in a bubble where I didn't understand that. I don't know that people like that still exist. Like I thought they were just like in my social studies book. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Yeah, like I mean, I grew up with it, so I knew, but you know, I guess I became numb to it over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, do you think like? I know this is corny, but like, do you think we'll like all come together as a country at some point, or like it's too far gone?
I think it depends on who's president next.
Okay, 2 more questions. Any thoughts on the Ticketmaster situation with Taylor Swift?
What happened? I got a notification, but I saw it the other day and I didn't pay much attention to it. I think it was overpriced.
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm like some Taylor Swiftie fan. I guess it's just more of like the Ticketmaster being a monopoly and wasn't able to hold the support of all the fans. People got locked out, and it was just like a nightmare. So I didn't.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, that happened to me on Ticketmaster like years ago when I was trying to buy basketball tickets the day they went online, and like the whole thing crashed.
Yeah, it's just interesting that like not until then do you think about like, oh, like they really are a monopoly. That's it.
Yeah, it's Ticketmaster. I believe they're a part of Live Nation also.
Right. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so last question that I'm obsessed with is like the unexplained. So, have you ever seen a ghost or something creepy or felt something creepy or eerie or cool or
No, but there was one time in Orlando when I was younger, before, because we had a forest behind our house. It was
Hmm.
undeveloped, it hasn't been built on, and now it's just all buildings and there's none of the trees there at all.
Hmm.
But granted, I was 8 years old. It could have just been. I thought there was a UFO behind my house.
Well, can you go into like more detail, or was it like a light? Like
Looked
what?
out the window and saw a bunch of lights that were just kind of just like not moving, and it was way too low. And so I thought there was a UFO like 10 feet up in the air behind the house and hiding like in the trees, because I saw like red lights. I saw all these different lights, and you it was literally you don't see anything ever back there.
And so, did you just like how long do you think you saw it, like, or it lasted, or you stared at it?
I mean, I think I was there for a good 20 to 30 minutes, and then I was like, all right, I've had enough. And then I turned back around and went in the house. But
Cool.
I um ghosts, no. Um I thought I saw my brother a couple times because he passed away.
Mhm.
But um yeah, I've never been like scared by a ghost or anything. I'm not saying I don't believe in them, but I've yet to see them. But I'm not going to go pay and spend a night in a horror house.
Oh yeah, of course not. Of course not. Well, I mean, regardless of how you interpreted whatever you saw, that's cool. 'Cause
Because
I
the
don't know.
American Horror Story house is down the street, and people go there all the time.
What's the story behind the house?
There's, I guess it's based on a real life house, like down the street, the house you see in that show,
Mhm.
and it's like I think it's actually a true story. There was a lot of people killed there and like buried on the property, and people stay there overnight, like an Airbnb.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, that makes me like. Have you been following the Idaho murders? Not that there's
No,
much to follow, but
no, I haven't heard about it.
yeah, I mean, it's horrible. I don't know. Just the same thing of like multiple people being killed, and it was like, did they know the person? Was it like a Ted Bundy thing or what have you?
But I heard there was a guy recently caught, and you're saying, like, or they had like a notice or like FBI wanted poster, and he worked at a grocery store or something, and
Hmm.
the wanted and he and the FBI wanted sign was literally above his where he worked for 8 years, and nobody said anything. And nobody knew. Everybody loved him. Said he was the best at customer service. Like he worked at the store for 10 years with the FBI wanted thing above his working station for like 8 years, and he
Hmm.
finally just got caught after working underneath his own sign for that long.
That's crazy.
And Conley mentioned it to me, but I need to do more details. I don't know where in the country that was or who it was.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think I've had someone like be so honest about like I haven't done my research or I need to do look into it more.
Yeah,
That's
because
cool.
then I typically don't talk about what I don't know.
That's fair. I love that.
So
I love
I
that.
usually go on Instagram, like since I watch a lot of Orlando Magic. I shouldn't do this, but I just love calling people out who just see a post and make a comment with no like facts or research, and I'm like, it's a bad habit, but I have fun with it.
Well, I think that that's like everyone loves to do that. Or they read the headline and they yet to click on the article and like read the whole thing. You know that too.
Yeah, so I'll sit there and call people out. It's just funny to see people's interactions.
Oh my god! Real quick, I used to play. My neighbor used to have NBA jams, and we would always like pick the Magic to play.
Oh yeah, Shaq and Penny.
Yeah, totally, totally. All right. Do you want to give a shout out to your social media or where or what you're working on or anything where people can find out?
Well, my social media is Stocktipdave. The company's Action Park Media. So right now we have the Bust, the Dossier, Victory, Ramble On, No Gruffs Given with Sean Avery, which I also kind of co-host on there with another guy named Michael Larman. It's
Mhm.
pretty funny because he talks about everything. He has no filter and he just loves going off, and it's funny. So me and him are actually training for the LA Marathon. And so we're
No
going hiking
way.
3 days a week. Yeah. Because I made a comment about pulling a Forrest Gump about walking from Santa Monica Pier to Coney Island. And then the
Hmm.
next day, my coworkers were like, "Are you serious?" And then they challenged me to do the LA Marathon. So I'm currently doing that. And we're like recording it along the way. So I've already hiked 25 miles in the last month.
Holy shit! And when is the marathon?
March 19th, which is ironically the day Orlando plays the Lakers.
Oh. Wow, that's intense. So do you feel like as you've been training, like do you feel better or you know what I mean?
I feel a little bit better, but I feel like I'm not doing enough.
I mean, you can't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah. So we do it 3 times a week. I'm supposed to go tomorrow again at like 7:30. And then
That's
it's usually like
intense.
almost an hour and a half.
That's intense. That'll be so rewarding when it finally happens.
Yeah. Kevin and Scotty, my coworkers, are like, you can't do it. And I'm like, yes, I can. Because they don't even believe I can play basketball. So I'm just trying to prove them wrong.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll have to obviously I stalk you guys on Instagram. But wait, real quick, since you obviously got your nickname from, studying the stock market, any like random tips or like what do you think about the economy? Like I'll end on that note. Like anything, like what's your gauge of what's happening or what's to come or
I mean, stock market will probably be like this until the election's over. But if everything's at a discount, like everybody's freaking out. Like, here's what I don't understand. I know everybody's freaking out about crypto, but those are the people who bought, Bitcoin, who bought it like at 60, 65,000. And now they're like, oh, crypto's dead. But what they don't realize is March of 2020, Ethereum was $85 and everybody's panicked about it being 1,200 right now. And Bitcoin was $7,000 and everybody's freaking out about it being 16,000. So everything's at a profit from what it was 2 years ago. It's just not as high as what it was because now they're doing they're regulating it. And so like I've got my stuff on an offline ledger. So like I know FTX collapsed, but that's why that you buy and sell on those what are they called, on those platforms, and then just transfer your crypto to a ledger offline, because then if a company fails, you don't lose your crypto because your crypto is already offline. And so
that's a lot, but obviously don't you think that like if you're it's just kind of like having like an investor or something that like usually these people you obviously have the knowledge. Not everyone has these like random knowledge facts, so like they're just like throwing dice, no?
I mean, I threw dice a couple of times. I was dollar shopping on crypto coins. And so I'll buy stuff and then I'll sell it 2 weeks later. Like there was one I bought at 35 cents and I sold it at like $2.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I should have sold Ethereum when it was at 4,500, but I had it staked, so I couldn't sell it. And so basically what that means is for me staking my crypto, I was gaining interest and getting free coins. Like I'm still not worried. It's just a downturn. Like I bought it all with the idea of not selling anything until 2025 or 2030. So those are the benchmark years.
So basically what you're saying is like crypto's not dead. Long story short.
I mean, a lot of the smaller coins, probably another year, but the smaller altcoins are probably going to fade away, but Ethereum and Bitcoin will not. It's just like, 2008. We had a recession, the stock market crashed, everybody panicked, but it's just a cycle. So I mean, I was warned about this probably back in like December, January, that it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be this severe, but people already knew like back in January this was going to happen. So while mainstream people are absolutely stunned and surprised, the people who study it, like my buddy, this is what he does, and he was saying get ready for a rocky year, like back in January. Like he knew all along because it's what he does on a daily basis.
And get ready means like get ready for it to like bottom out.
Yeah, like because everything was way too high, and it was getting way. It was because it was absurdly high, unjustifiably, and then it just kind of came back to normal. And so the people that are hurting now are the people who bought it when it was at its peak, as opposed to when it was not so mainstream like a couple of years ago. And then the stock market, it's just like right now, I would say, look at semiconductor chips. Those are probably the best stocks right now.
Damn. Yeah.
And when I say the chips, those are the chips that are in your phone, so you can do like the contactless payment.
Who do you think is the best bank in the country?
Not Bank of America. I hate them. I would say Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely despise Bank of America.
Just because, like, Any
They
background story or what?
they just have these random fees and they just hit you with these stupid fees and you're like, why am I getting charged for this? Why they never give notification. They would just take money out of the account and do all these random charges.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, we can do this because we're Bank of America, I guess, right?
Yeah. So Wells Fargo, I don't know much about, but Chase has been good. I personally liked SunTrust, but I couldn't cash a check in New York, so I had to get rid of it.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, that's it, dude. That's it. It finally happens.
Yeah. I know it's hit or miss. It's been a crazy month.
It happened. I knew it was gonna happen. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll try to connect in a year or so and see what's up in a year.
Absolutely. Hopefully this was entertaining for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I'll be in touch.
All right.
Bye. Hope you had fun. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Of course,
Okay.
always do.
Bye.